Good afternoon.
We're back.
Yes,
Been a while. That's okay.
it has. I'm gonna notify our followers.
Let's see. Oh, and I need to tag individuals since you did followers.
I did it, but I don't know how that's gonna work. Cause when I start typing in people that I think follow, like their name doesn't come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm gonna share it. We have 5 people watching. Hello, hello. If you would please like, comment, and share. Let us know that you're there. LaQuinta, did you have a good day? I know it's busy for you at work right now.
Yeah, it was a good day. Busy, but good. It takes a lot for me to have a bad day.
That's good.
What about you?
It was good. I am caught up, so this sister is
Yes.
happy as it relates to
Yes.
those notes.
I'm happy for you. Happy for you.
Thank you. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it's because it's on StreamYard, but when I go and I start typing them from my phone,
It pulls up.
I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing it from my phone.
Well, y'all, just to let you know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so the windows at the office are painted, the doors are painted, and so we are just trying to bring awareness to mental health.
Hey,
Hey, Kamisa.
how are you tonight? I am good. Thank you for asking.
Did everybody have a good Mother's Day yesterday?
I'm gonna say yes. It takes a lot for me to have a bad day. It was a good day. I had the opportunity to speak at a church in Louisiana about mental
Yes.
health. Yeah.
I wish I could have been there.
Not good night, Miss Bernita. Yeah, I
Good
listen, and I'm
night.
I knew that if I would have reminded you early enough, you would have been trying to rearrange stuff to get there. So I intentionally didn't text you until the last minute because I was like, no, because it's too much. But I did get invited to another speaking engagement. I hadn't had a chance to tell you about it yet, but that's in June, so I'll give you.
Oh, wonderful! Look at that.
You know, I'm a nervous wreck already. I don't even have. Now we on here at midnight. Now, Miss Bernita, you know whose idea this was.
Hey, we did not
But
have
we
games today.
understand.
And I figure everybody is snuggled in their bed because it's raining. So hey, why not just jump on here and have a little conversation?
Just a little nightcap. Hey, Miss Rosita.
Yeah.
We gonna say you like the preachers. We ain't gonna keep you long. But yeah, so it went really well. I got some really good. I obviously it went well. Apparently it went well because I got some good feedback from the members, and so
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Well, good.
So yeah.
Did your kids accompany you?
No. Individuals accompanied the bed and the pillow.
I'm gonna get them. Okay.
But you know, it's their summer break, so I'm gonna give them a pass.
Okay.
Miss Bernita, don't you get on here with that.
Yeah, she is.
Go. Good night. Good night. You going back to bed.
I love it.
You're being messy.
I love it.
But yeah, so but I enjoyed it. I did. I'm glad that the church is seeing the importance of providing their members with knowledge and awareness of the importance of mental health. And so I'm honored anytime I can participate in the sharing of that information. So
yes. So what are y'all thoughts tonight?
how do y'all feel like y'all are doing as it relates to your mental health? Like, what kind of place are you in? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 is child, I'm barely getting by, and 10 is I'm in a good space. Like, where do you feel like you are? So where do you feel like you are currently with your mental health? 1 is I'm hanging on by eyelash glue and a toothpick. And 10 is I'm good. Maybe not perfect. Things may not be perfect, but you feel like you're in a good place.
I'm gonna answer.
Okay. Okay, Camisa. 6 is trending in the right direction. You gonna answer in the chat or you gonna answer out loud?
Oh, I'll put it in the chat. Now, child, one day your girl was probably at a 1.
Hey, Jazz. Listen, I mean, we have those days.
But hey, I snap back.
Yeah. I feel like that's a common misconception, like that you're always gonna trend upwards. Like, I think any day of the week it could be, you know, and any time of the day. That's why I say it takes a lot for me to have a bad day, because I could have a 2 a.m. and a 9 p.m. Like, I try not to hold on to things,
Right.
because I don't want it to ruin my whole day. So right now, I think I'm probably around an 8. Not because everything is perfect, but because I am intentional about making peace with what is and working on what's within my control and letting go of what's not.
Okay. I like that.
Hi, Rayla.
Miss Bernita, where are you?
else? Camise responded.
Yeah, I want everybody who is
It's
coming.
Rosita.
Hey,
Hey, Kendra. Kendra, did you hear the question? Kendra was the one who invited me. That's her church, so I'm grateful.
Oh, okay.
So the question is, where do you feel like your mental health is currently on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is I'm barely hanging on, and 10 is things aren't perfect, but I'm in a good space.
I love Bonita's detail. She said I'm at a 5.75.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you for your honesty.
5.75. Okay. 7, 8, Miss Brown. Okay. 5.
Okay.
All right.
Thank y'all for sharing, for being so transparent.
Yes. Thank you for your honesty. Yeah. 8.5.
Hey, Cherie. A lot of 7s, some 8s. So, all right.
I think the lowest was a 5. And so let me ask this as a follow-up. And if I'm overstepping Yolanda, just tell me to hush. But those of you who are like five in the 5 to 5-6 range, is it because of something ongoing or something we just got here, Kendra? Miss Bernita said we waited till midnight. Is it because of something like ongoing that you're dealing with, or is it because of like something that is fairly recent that you're facing? Does that make sense? Does that question make sense?
Yeah. Hey, Tamika.
So if you were, so Tamika, the question that I asked was on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you think where would you rate your current mental health? 1 is like barely holding on, and 10 is everything isn't perfect, but I'm in a good place. Wanda, someone has a YouTube guideline question.
Okay, go ahead with your question.
Hi, Tanisha. And then the follow-up question. Go ahead.
Just type it in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer.
Okay, so Kendra said hers is recent events. So if you're like in a 5 to 6 range, is it because of something long-term or ongoing or something recent? Anybody else besides Kendra willing to share?
Hi, Shawana. Oh, he said slow typer. Sorry. So the question was, she was asking you to rate your mental health. 1 was hanging on by an eyelash, and 10 was like super good. And then if you were in the 5 to 6 range, was it recent events or was it something that was ongoing?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot.
Right, yeah. The graduation season hit different. Yeah. And you only have 1 child, so that's a huge adjustment.
Miss Rayla said hers is being a caregiver. So that's ongoing. Camisa's is ongoing.
Tanisha's is ongoing.
So, when you have these ongoing issues, do y'all have some type of balance? We often talk about work-life balance, but do you have some caregiver life balance? Because you're probably a caregiver around the clock. So when do you take time for you? Is it when they're asleep,
And
or do you have
also,
leave?
and also to piggyback off that with being a caregiver, do you have a safe space to unload? Like that is on top of all of your regular life stuff. Do you have a place or a person where you can go and release your frustrations? Are you in therapy? Because sometimes it's okay if you have a family member to talk to, but sometimes you need an ongoing, an unbiased, you know, party person who can give you some um, feedback and help you to process through the emotions of being a caregiver.
Hmm. So Miss Rose said, yes, she stays up at night. Okay, that sounds good. But are you resting at some point? I am a firm believer that the body needs rest,
Yes,
even
I
though
talked
I don't
about that yesterday. The importance of rest as it relates to your mental health. And like with Kendra, I know that's um, a thing with her. Like she said, trying to be all I can everywhere I can. Like she be doing too much. And sometimes that is the strain we place on our own mental health is we're trying to be everything to everyone every time. Even, in those who are caregivers.
Oh yeah. I was reading Tanisha's comment. She
Okay.
said she's a
Yeah,
single
just
parent, lost her mom when she was 2 months old, raised by her grandmother, and she worked a lot. I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah. So how have you tried to work through those things? Or have you? That's cool, friend, but if you do that and then you go right back into the ring with the grizzly bear, and you do it every day, it's just not good enough. But I will say I know that you have been doing better with saying no. Like Kendra is the friend that like she's the person that will do 15 different unpaid jobs just to help somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she will take on every extra responsibility under the roof.
Oh wow. Why?
Yeah, cuz she's a helper. She don't like people not getting what they need even if it means she doesn't get what she needs.
Oh no, I did not know that, Kendra. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, I didn't know that
Okay,
was something.
Sean Sullivan asked the question. Um, my question is, will YouTube allow channels to buy subscribers, etc.? Meanwhile, small channels could send a pitch. I have no clue. I don't know anything about YouTube and their rules and regulations. Um, I don't even know if we have any YouTube subscribers, to be honest with you. We're just on here trying to stop the stigma.
But I know someone who may be able to answer that question, Yolanda.
Oh, okay. Well, please feel free. Anybody who can answer, because I don't know. Hmm. She says she has not.
Yeah. You talking about who say what again, Kendra? So Tanisha, I would encourage you, if you have not looked into treatment, I would encourage you to do that, because sometimes we have to learn to I'm not laughing at you, Tanisha. Sometimes we have to learn how to make peace with the questions that we'll never get answers to.
So yes.
And so that's not something that you can do on your own. It may not even be something that you can do. Hey cousin, I see you've been enjoying. I'm so proud of you. It may not even be some answers that you can get from family members. Sometimes you just need somebody else who has no skin in the game, who can process through your thoughts and emotions with you, and allow you to process how you feel, even all those emotions that you've suppressed over time, and help you get to a place where you can say, okay, I don't know why, it doesn't make sense, but I'm at peace with myself and where my life is.
Right. So true. So please consider that.
Yeah.
Now, resolutions is a good place to start, but if you don't want to start with us, I'm going to encourage you to go to Psychology Today and find a therapist of your choice. Kendra said the YouTube question. Bernita said mine is a combination of ongoing and because I missed my therapy session. Oh, well, you need to reschedule, darling.
That's what I was laughing at, because Miss Bernita is on one tonight. I was looking for so basically, Kendra, they were asking, does YouTube allow channels to buy subscribers? Which is something that we've never explored, because we be hanging on by eyelash glue and duct tape. Not even duct tape, Scotch tape. But the reason that I asked, like, was it something recent or ongoing, is because sometimes, like, we'll be in a situation and it'll put us in a bad headspace, or kind of throw us off, and it'll feel so intense and so personal and so deep, and it'll feel like it's gonna last forever. So I just wanted to encourage everyone to think about the challenge. If you're in a challenge now, think about the challenges that you faced before and overcome. And if it's an ongoing challenge, think about how bad it's been before and how you survived that. Like, sometimes we just need to remind ourselves of how far we've come.
Right. And no storm lasts forever. And the longest day still has an ending.
Because what Glorilla say? At the end of the day gotta end. But yeah, like every cloud runs out of rain. Other clouds come, but no cloud, no storm is gonna last forever. And so you just.
But when you in it, I get it. It's like you feel like it's gonna last forever.
Yeah, you do.
Like, full transparency. I'm gonna be transparent. Like, I had a situation the other day,
Hey, Tamika.
and I was like, you know, I even told Bernita, I said, "Ooh, child, I don't know. This Christian lifestyle, it just seemed like it's too much. It's just too much. Like when I wasn't, and I've always been a Christian, so I don't want anybody to take that out of context. But just trying to walk the walk and be more serious and intentional about it, it seems like everything kind of comes at you all at once. And so sometimes you wonder, like, well, when am I gonna get a break? Because it seemed like this been going on for
Right.
a couple of years now. It's been like one thing after the next.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, I'm tired of pushing.
Yeah. I think that sometimes that's the whole point though. Like I think sometimes we're fighting too hard, and sometimes the lesson is to let go.
Mm-hmm. You know what I
I think
did? I referenced back to the thing that you sent me, and I just prayed that prayer, Lord, let my helpers find me. And
okay.
they did. I
Right.
received a call. So all is well.
Yeah. I think sometimes we're fighting too hard. I I was listening to something and they said this, and it resonated. I don't remember what it was, but it's talking about how we're always told to you keep fighting, you don't quit, you don't quit. Sometimes you need to let go. Sometimes we're fighting to hold on to old stuff that is no longer beneficial. It's no longer healthy for us. So you
Mm,
fighting for relationships that no longer have life. You're fighting for goals that no longer are meaningful to you. Sometimes you need to quit doing the wrong thing so that you can get in position for the right thing to find you.
mm-hmm. My
Yes, they will.
beautician, she used to say all the time, anything that is dead must be buried.
Yes, yes,
And she was referring to my ends needing to be
yeah,
clipped,
yeah.
but you can use that in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you
Yeah,
are in a relationship and it is not going anywhere, why are you still there? Why are you still holding on?
yep. Job, mindset, habits, it applies to it all.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't get rid of the dead stuff, it starts to kill you.
Yes. Oh, Kendra, that's a word. Letting go is part of growth. You can't walk out the door and keep holding the knob. Yes, ma'am.
Yep, yep, yeah.
Oh yeah, the enemy, he's something serious. But I'm here to run him over.
You have to, and sometimes it's us. It's the familiarity. Just to write that down. Uh, we get comfortable with the negativity. We get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But like we've talked about in the past, that's one of the areas where boundary setting is important. Like I'm not going to continue to allow this. I'm not going to accept this. Those are boundaries, important boundaries. I'm not going to continue to do this to myself is an important boundary.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else want to drop some numbers? I have not heard a lot from our Cromwell followers tonight.
Miss Bernice said they probably in the bed. But yeah. I was thinking earlier, how even though there is this acknowledgement or acceptance about the importance of mental health, there's still such a need for quality service, right? We know that people are in need, but even like as it relates to children, finding those children who need residential placement or acute treatment, finding healthy spaces for them to go and get the help that they need, is such a challenge. And so it creates this catch-22 for providers. Like, I know they need an acute placement, but where do I send them that they feel safe? You know, and then even some of them, when there are places, the geographic location is a challenge. How do I get them there? How do their parents get them there?
We just had this discussion at work the other day because myself and another coworker, I was saying, you know, I'm against, like, if someone is suicidal and they have a plan, I'm against a safety plan at home. But it's a different story if you're, say you're at a 2 or a 3. Okay, so we can put you on crisis and monitor you and increase your sessions. And all the time, the hospital is not the best place, because it can be more traumatic and do more harm. I've sent children to hospitals and they come back and they say, I never want to go again. I didn't learn anything. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. I would have did better here with the med change and just coming to my therapy sessions. So you just have to be mindful. There is no standard answer for every situation. It has to be on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah. And there's so many factors to consider.
Oh, thank you, Kendra, for answering that question. She said, according to LinkedIn, paying for views is a breach of terms.
You see how she done went out on Beyonce internet and found that answer? That's my friend. That's what she does 24/7.
Wow.
Or at least 26 all the time. Yeah. So what are you all, those of
what
you
do we need to create, Bernita?
A YouTube page? Are you talking about a YouTube channel? Or are you talking about a residential facility? Because baby, that's the day I resign. Please don't say a residential facility, Miss Bernita.
Hey, Bianca.
Please don't say that.
We're gonna put LaQuinda right in charge of the facility.
No. I am not delivered enough.
Well, look, you know, she said I was gonna get another facility, another building. So hey.
Not a facility, Miss Bernita. Resolutions might need one, but who won't?
Come on, Kendra. Yeah, me too.
I would not make a great director. Y'all trying to set me up for the penitentiary.
Yes, she would, because she wouldn't take any
Y'all trying to set me up. I am not built for prison. No, ma'am. No.
It's not prison.
Y'all trying to set me up for prison, putting me over a residential facility. Oh. Y'all gotta realize I've been working with kids for 20 plus years. It's time for me to ease out. I've learned that we have to just ask God to anoint our child, because my eyes are irritated because our minds operate. Very good, cousin. Yes. And I think that it's one thing that we don't give ourselves credit for too, is that God honors our try. Like, we don't have to get it right all the time, because he knows that we're limited in what we can see and what we've experienced. And so we're limited in what we will be able to do. And so he's far more patient with us than we are with ourselves, and than we are with each other. And so as we go through those days of ups and downs, we have to be gracious to ourselves, knowing that if we at a 1, it ain't gonna be at a 1 all the time. And if we at a 10, it ain't gonna be at a 10 all the time. But wherever we are, if we believe in God, we have to trust that He's on the scale with us, wherever that may be.
Oh, yeah. Benita said, if I messed up one less time than yesterday, I showed growth. Amen.
And that's a reason to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to find this.
I was approached today at a meeting that I was at, and the question was, do we have any Christian counselors? And I said, well, we use spirituality as coping strategies all the time if our clients are, spiritual. I said, now if they're not, then no. But I referenced you and I when I answered the question.
What he said was this: my God brother said, God is a God of mercy and compassion before He is a God of judgment. And I think that's something that we need to apply more to ourselves and our situations. We need to show ourselves mercy and compassion before we judge our failures and our mistakes and the times that we get it wrong.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that people don't even think about, showing themselves mercy and compassion. Or, giving ourselves some grace. Because we're all too often able to give John Doe, Jane Doe grace. But we don't give ourselves that same grace.
Yeah. We always find a way to justify other people's shortcomings. And Kendra, give compassion and justify and understand other people, but for us to do that to ourselves seems I don't know, like we cheating or something, like we cheating the system. I don't know, but we're always better to other people than we are to ourselves. Far too often we're better to other people, we're kinder to them, we're more understanding of them.
Cardi is
we're more compassionate. Yeah.
Yep.
And so we need to give some of that back to ourselves. Because what happened when we wear out? If you're a caregiver and you give out, you're too physically and mentally exhausted to provide care, then what happens?
Yeah, what happens to your patient or to your loved one? And so sometimes you just have to say, hey, I need a break. And because the truth be told, most of the time when you're a caregiver, you have people in your life that always say, hey, if you need something, call me. But the problem is we don't want to take them up on their offer. We don't want to call.
Because you don't want to bother anybody. You don't want to be a burden. But also, you can't just say that you need it. You got to give yourself permission to accept it. You know what I mean? Because even if you don't want to depend on an individual, a lot of places have respite care. I think I'm using the term. And so you can take a break, but a lot of times we feel that guilt, like, oh, if something happens to them while I'm gone, I wouldn't be able to live with myself, or they're not going to take care of them the way that I will. And so you need to examine how much of that is rooted in your personal feelings of needing to control situations.
And at the end of the day, we have no control over that. God has already chosen their day and their time. and there's nothing that we can do to change that.
Right. And so that goes back to what I said earlier about making peace with however things are, because you don't have control. You don't. If you had the power to keep them here, you like make them better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you have, and that's just understanding that there is a natural course of things, the way things happen, and some of it is just beyond our control. Yeah, you do have to have time for yourself, but for peace of mind, but peace of mind doesn't come just with time. It comes with making peace with all of those broken pieces that are inside of you, in your head and in your heart.
Yes. Yes, because you can take all the time in the world away from that situation. But if you don't do exactly what LaQuinta just said, then you go back to the situation and you still don't have any peace.
And you may go back to it more exhausted because you spent the time away going back and forth in your head. I wonder what they're doing. Are they taking care of them? Are they doing this? You know, even when as mothers, if when we get breaks from our children, you constantly calling and FaceTiming and texting, and them kids not thinking about you. But you don't know how to mentally detach and emotionally detach to actually find peace or have peace of mind because you're mentally and emotionally back where they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you are more than a care daughter and you are more than a daughter and care overseer. And so, you know, sometimes you have to make the tough decisions. But you have to remember that, you know, that person doesn't lack anything necessarily because you're not the one providing it for them.
Yeah.
Shaquilla said, as humans, we often think we have more time, which in the end most often leads to missed deadlines. Yeah. And sometimes it's our overthinking and our anxiety that can cause us to put things off or feel like we have more time. Sometimes we're afraid to make the wrong decision. So we don't make a decision at all.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is telling ourselves, okay, I have time. I'll do this later. You know, or, you know, I used to have it bad to, I'll know I needed to do something that I didn't really want to do for whatever reason. You know, whether it meant having to have a conversation with someone that I thought may be a little challenging, or, you know, having to confront an issue or whatever it was. I would find all these little things to do and ways to put it off because I didn't want to face whatever that challenge was.
Kendra said that she had guilt. I don't think I had guilt. I had anger.
Mm.
My emotion was anger.
That the situation had to happen.
Mm-hmm. Because I wanted him to go home. So
Mm-hmm.
I was angry that I had to use
Mm-hmm.
the nurse home at first. Yeah, I was angry.
Yeah.
Oh. So how do you have a conversation with him about balance and boundaries, Rayla? Because I don't know, like, if he's sick and in the hospital or if he's sick and at home. Because if he's sick and he's in the hospital, that's really the best place for him if he's there at
Mm-hmm.
that time. And that's the time for you to be able to go home and rest. Because if he's in the hospital, you can't do what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn that. of the relationship we had. Oh.
So did part of you feel like, how dare you need me to take care of you? I'm making all these sacrifices and you weren't there for me growing up. Like, was that? Excuse me.
Oh, no.
You know what came to yeah, see, this is why I can't be no director. First thing came to my mind was that scene from Diary of a Mad Black Woman. When they was listen, I'm too immature. I'm too immature.
Well, I have
But
learned that you never know who is going to have to hand you a cold glass of water. People think that, oh, it's going to be this person or that person, and it may not be. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know who it's going to be.
Y'all immature too, because y'all laughing. You know exactly what scene I'm thinking about.
Right. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Was that her name?
Myself.
But yeah, but that's part of showing yourself mercy and compassion and grace, because you have every right to be angry because African American. What are you calling me for? Call your sons. You know what I mean? I think that's part of that grace that we have to extend to ourselves, to say, the Bible says be angry but don't sin. You can be mad at that man because he basically gave you his butt to kiss when you were growing up because he had his boys, and now you gotta wipe his butt. Like, you can be mad about that.
Yeah.
Who told you couldn't? There's no reason for you to feel guilty about being angry that I have to, because I know how you went back and forth, leaving work and taking off work and, all the phone calls. You know what I'm saying? So who said you shouldn't be angry about that? No, I'm mad because you're inconveniencing me. But I'm going to honor the fact that you are my father, and I'm going to do what needs to be done.
Right. And you'll be blessed for it. But I don't know, men have this misconception. We're nurturers. They're not.
Right.
I mean, they're not. And I've heard guys say, like, I can't see my dad like that, or I can't do this. I want to, they want to, but they just can't.
They be real weak in the knees.
And we are just, I think, emotionally stronger. But I want to go back
to because
go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, but it's because we most times weren't given a choice. We didn't have the option to walk away.
I was gonna tell Rayla, I was trying to find her comment. Hold on.
Okay, Rayla, you said you feel like your husband depends on you now more than ever because he can't take care of himself. Do you think it's because, like, do you think if you all found a support system that he could learn to trust someone else?
I understand what she's saying because that's her husband, but she's gonna have to find some type of balance.
Yeah, and that's why I say, could he
too?
Yeah, could he? Because what'll happen is you'll burn yourself out too, and so that's why I was saying, like, if you found, and maybe they could be there when you're there too, until he gets comfortable. You have one, Where he won't allow them to help.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That is very difficult. So I'm gonna say this because I had to help with a similar situation. The husband did not want the wife to bring anyone in. But she became broke down and had to have a surgery. And so at that point, someone else had to come in, which was home health. If you bring them in, what can he do about it?
And even if you bring them in and it starts off where they're not providing direct care for him, but maybe doing some of the other stuff to take some work off of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the goal is to not wear yourself out. And so maybe
Right.
he don't want nobody else, touching him or repositioning him, or I don't know, his condition and what it requires, but maybe he doesn't want their direct physical contact. But maybe you can find someone that can do things to relieve some load off you in other areas.
Right. And I think we have to respect his boundaries, to that degree, but someone else can come in and either help with like cleaning or cooking or things of that nature, maybe setting up medicine or running errands for you, something like that.
And that's for any caregiver.
Yeah, I would encourage you to make a list of all the things that you have to do. And then if you have someone who's willing to help, see what things you can on that list that you can give to them to do.
Delegate it to somebody else.
Yep. And that can be hard to hand those things over sometime. It can be very hard. But if you don't, you're gonna suffer in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, some men do have a hard time being vulnerable in front of people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm not gonna say some men. I'm gonna say pretty much all of them.
Yeah. And sometimes that's even their significant others. But child, that's another topic for another day.
Yep. Well, y'all, we are almost at our hour.
It's not in y'all's DNA,
It's
Mr.
not in their
Hawkins.
DNA. Probably not.
Yeah, I think it was somebody cut it out.
Rayla, I'm going to challenge you. I'm giving you that for homework. I want you to make a list of all the things that you have to do. And then I want you to delegate some things on that list. Sometimes you just have to say no.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Say no and mean it and don't feel bad about it.
You have family support. Good for you, Miss Rosita. Support is key.
Yes, it is.
We're glad to be back.
Yeah, we are glad to be back. I called LaQuinta today. I said, okay, I don't have a game. Can we go live?
Yeah. I forgot it was Monday. I don't know, one day of the week from the other child. I'll just be out here. No is a complete sentence.
It is. And I learned that from a 5-year-old. She is 6 now, but my daughter, if she did not want to do something, want to eat something, no. And that was it. Like no explanation, no nothing. And one day I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's just what it is. It's just no. Without
sometimes it's just no. Yep. Exactly.
Well, y'all drop some topics, and hopefully we'll be back next Monday. If not, we'll be back one day next week. We're gonna keep this train going all week. I mean, not all week, Lord.
No, I was gonna say
we're gonna keep
keep
momentum going for the month of May for mental health awareness.
Yes. Oh, you're welcome, Varen. I hope I'm saying that right. We enjoy it too.
Yep. Yes, please do not be ashamed. And for the young lady who was on here earlier, and I recommended resolutions or psychology today. If you need any help, please feel free to reach out.
Yes. Kendra knows how to contact us. You're welcome, Tanisha. You're welcome, Kendra.
All right. Well, y'all have a good night. Thank you for watching.
Good night.